all the time. Do you know anybody who's just struggling to keep their mood in check? They're struggling to keep their mood in balance. Do you know anybody who is just basically, it's all about their mood, where they can't even get by without like being focused on it? There's people out there struggling with mood shift, mood changes, mood issues, mood problems, and we can call it mood, but it's even deeper than that. Hello, I'm Anthony William, the medical medium. We're day 15 of the Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse Challenge. Can you believe it, you guys? Day 15. What are we doing? We're doing the mood shifter. Did you guess? The mood shifter. I love the mood shifter. There it is right there. I'm in Brain Saver right now. That's the mood shifter right there in my hands. Check it out. The mood shifter is really an incredible brain shot therapy because so many people are struggling with the mood that they're in, right? Because they're sad. How many people feel sad all the time? You know, I know a lot of people, they feel sad at the end of the day. I know a lot of people that feel sad when they wake up. Do you feel sad, this sadness when you wake up first thing in the morning? Did that ever happen to you in your life? Did you feel this sadness in the middle of the day? Does the sadness hit you around lunchtime? Does the sadness hit you at the end of the day? I know people where the sadness mysteriously comes, this undiagnosed, mysterious sadness that comes like at 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock every single day. I just saw somebody on IG that says I get angrier easier. So many people are struggling. They're struggling with moods. They're struggling with sadness. I think there is a difference from what I've learned from SOC with sadness, that's mysterious, and then just, of course, depression. And then you may have both. That's the thing. You could be suffering from depression, but also have this mysterious sadness involved. It could be two things, like mood problems happening with depression. I mean, I've seen it all out there. How you guys doing? Are you excited about today? Because this is the brain shot therapy I really like. I treasure the mood shifter. I treasure the power it has. And I'm not saying that lightly. I'm not. I treasure the power the mood shifter has because it does hold something I haven't seen anything else do. A friend of mine's son was in a really bad mood, came back from school, okay? And instantly she gave him the mood shifter. And usually anything else she tries just doesn't change his mood. And then she gave him the mood shifter and it was like a miracle happened. So they're doing the mood shifter every single day when he comes home from school. It's incredible, really. All right, so let's talk about mood. Let's get into it now. So I am in the book, Brain Saver, and I am, just so we know, on page 207. I don't think that's the spot I'm supposed to be in. Hang on there. Let's see where we are. Hold on here. I'm looking for page 370. All right, we got it. Mood changes, page 370 in Brain Saver. The book is so huge. It's such a big book. I don't think I'll ever know where everything is. I just don't think I will. All right. We often hear mood changes being blamed on hormone imbalances. Okay, that's a question I have for you guys. It's really important. Is your mood blamed on hormones? Did that happen to you? Did you go to your practitioner, your doctor, your healer, your herbalist, your healthcare provider, and they were like, well, no, your sadness, your mood changes is your hormones? Do you hear that all the time out there? Because that's what people are told when it comes down to moods. It's not about the toxic heavy metals in their brain. It's not about, because of course they don't know about that out there. It's not about the toxic metals in the brain or all the toxic chemicals or all the viral infections people have. It's not about all that. It's about hormones, right? I mean, pretty much everybody says, no, it's hormones are the problem. That's why I have a mood problem, right? That's what men always say. I just saw that on IG. That it's about women's moods because of hormones. We often hear mood changes being blamed on hormone imbalances. Yes, we do often hear that. What's incredible is that there's a new generation and a new generation of women that are being educated that it's their hormones. So if anything's wrong with their health and they're not so sick, like they're not so sick, they're not super sick, they're not chronically sick. If they're not chronically sick, then their hormones may not be the blame. If they're just partially sick, they got like a little gut stuff and a little headache once in a while, and they got a little bit of malaise, they got a little bit of acne, and they go to their functional medicine doctor or whatever doctor, and the first thing that's going to happen is it's their hormones. You're going to be told it's their hormones. So there's a new generation of young women right now being trained to think that every single thing is their hormones. And you see it now with influencers on social. You'll see like 20-year-olds and 21-year-olds and 23-year-olds and 19-year-olds, and they're doing their thing about like, oh, it's my hormones. My hormones is why I don't feel that great. My hormones is why I can't sleep good at night. My hormones is why I have this acne. My hormones is why I'm dizzy all the time. This hormones is why I don't have the energy. So it's right now there's a new training happening. So there's a new conditioning and brainwashing. Meanwhile, what young women don't understand is that, whoa, no, you got mercury in your brain, you got aluminum, you got copper in your brain, your liver is getting clogged up early on when it's not supposed to. You're having all these other issues, So it's all of that going on, but what's happening is they're being blamed on hormones is the big one right now. Like every functional doctor, every single practitioner, it's your hormones. And a whole new generation of women are being completely conditioned that it's their hormones, so that they're to blame. They're the reason why they're sick. I think it's a dangerous place to go. Yes, hormones play a role in a lot. And I'm not anti-hormone belief, because I actually know from Spirit of Compassion that hormones can get out of whack and they can get out of balance. Absolutely. But there's a difference between that and everything being hormones and hormones only. And that's important to know, because there's this younger generation of women that are being trained, literally trained every day right now, that their hormones are every reason why they're depressed. They have anxiety. So if they have anxiety or anxiousness or panic attacks, it's their hormone. If their periods are difficult, it's their hormones. If they have acne, it's their hormones. If they have any kind of mood shifting, it's their hormones. And hormones aren't why people are severely depressed and have anxiety. Hormones aren't why people are suffering from these bad periods when they're younger. Hormones aren't the reason why a lot of things, right? But you'll see it now on social. It's almost like, oh my God, are you kidding? So they have completely brainwashed, and they're gonna brainwash the entire, world of young women that their hormones are to blame for everything. And that's the new direction alternative medicine and conventional medicine, but the new direction alternative medicine has gone. And I support hormones and hormone, even to some degree bioidentical, I talk about, and I do for women, but hormones are not why young women have difficult periods. There's real reasons happening. There's low-grade viral infections. There's toxic heavy metals. There's just a couple. But the point is, and also adrenal problems, which is adrenal hormones. That's an entirely different thing. But they'll blame everything on hormones for young women. And that's what's going on right now. That's the new normal that's developing. So, and you'll see it, 5 years, there'll be another billion sick women in 5 years. They'll all be on social, like young women will be on social, and they'll all be like, it's my hormones, it's why I'm numb in my arms, and I feel like I got sandbags in my legs. And and they won't talk about caffeine blowing out their adrenals or caffeine like damaging their brain or anything, because caffeine, they want young women on caffeine. The caffeine industry wants young women on caffeine, and then the medical industry would love for women to just believe it's their genes or their hormones. And if they're really sick, really, really sick, then the medical industry will say, well, it's your body attacking itself. It's autoimmune. So what you're going to see is on social, you're going to see millions and millions and millions of influencers, women influencers, like young ones, right? Young women, like 21, 22, 23. In a few years, you're going to see millions of them. And they're all going to be like, well, it's, if they're too sick, it'll be like, well, my body's attacking itself. It's autoimmune, right? Which we know isn't the truth if you know medical meme information. The body doesn't attack itself. Or the other thing is they're going to be like, it's my hormones. That's the conditioning of what's happening today. It's to put blame, it's body shame. So what I'm trying to say is that the industries are teaching women to shame their bodies. So it's all about body shaming now. It's your hormones. That's a form of body shaming. Yes, when you're 40 years old, you can have hormone imbalances. Yes, you could find an incredible doctor that does bioidentical hormones if you're 45 years old, if that's the direction you want to go, if they're really knowledgeable or something. But that's not what this is. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about young women that are sick for other reasons being body shamed, and the body shaming is out of control right now, and it's just beginning. And the body shaming is going to be like every single 18, 19, 17, 15, whatever, 21, 22, 25-year-old woman, like every one of them is going to be, if they have a symptom, like a neurological symptom or anxiety or depression or depersonalization or OCD, it's going to be like, it's your hormones, it's your fault, your body's bad, your body's faulty, your body is not working right, or it's your genes, or it's your body attacking itself. And that's where it's going. Okay. Booch Berlin says, pregnancy is not sickness. It is a huge change in the whole temple hormones roller coaster. Pregnancy is hard on the body. And when women have problems like autoimmune, which is like viruses and low-grade viral infections, when women are very sick, pregnancy is very difficult on a woman who's very sick with chronic illness, okay? Because there's all these other problems. Why do you see one woman have a good pregnancy where it was easier and another woman have a very difficult pregnancy, it was harder? Because of other problems going on, pathogens, Epstein-Barr infections in the reproductive system, because the immune system is protecting the baby and the reproductive system. So if a woman is sick during her pregnancy, she's chronically ill, there's other problems at hand here. So that's how it works. Yes, there's hormones related to pregnancy, absolutely, and all of that. But I'm trying to show you like something's really important though. So I know you just want to pass everything off. Oh, the woman's pregnant, her hormones are all over the place. It's like, let's not kind of insult everybody, because what people don't even realize is your immune system is, and I'm not saying you're insulting anybody. I'm just saying that's something that happens out there. People are saying that out there. They're saying, oh, well, oh, she's pregnant. That's what's going on. That's why she's having such a hard time. It's like, whoa, she's having a hard time because there's so many other problems going on. She's struggling from so many other different situations. Maybe her adrenals aren't strong and one of them is weakened, right? That's just one thing. Maybe she's got the low-grade viral infections. Yeah. Maybe she's got the toxic heavy metals. Maybe there's other things going on. And all of that combined, and then being pregnant and having a baby, right? But they'll just blame everything on hormones. So you'll have a mom that's pregnant and she's struggling with her pregnancy and her health, and they'll just blame it all on hormones. When, wait a minute, no, that mom has a lot of other problems going on, making it really difficult. But that's one topic right there. They're training millions of young women to believe that everything is hormones. So if they have one problem, it's hormones, whatever that is, one symptom. See, Dryer Woolman says, my pregnancies were the worst, especially my second one. I was deep into standard naturopathic treatments, eating way too much protein, and my viruses were out of control. I hadn't found you yet, AW. Oh my God, you know the information then. You're reading the information and you're learning. That's incredible. It really, truly. Dr. Laura Woolman. Thank you, Dr. Laura. Thank you for being here. So proud of you. So anyway, I think that since we're talking about mood changes, I just wanted to talk about hormone imbalances a little bit too. And I think that for to begin with, like Spirit of Compassion always told me, yes, you can have hormones that are imbalanced. I never said you can't have imbalanced hormones. You can. And the adrenals produce a lot of reproductive hormones too. And they produce a lot of hormones. But what happens is, though, there's hundreds of other symptoms. And these hundreds of other symptoms don't play any role with hormones. And that's important to know. So that means hormones aren't causing those symptoms. I just want that out there clear because it's so important. But right now, it's just if you're 20 years old and you're a woman and you go to a couple different practitioners and doctors and you have a symptom, oh, you better believe you're going to be told it's your hormones. People with same hormones out of whack don't have those symptoms. So one 20-year-old and another one can have two different experiences, right? So it's incredible how it works because hormones are not the cause of every single symptom and condition, but they're going there soon and they're already kind of there. You're seeing it on social more and more. It's going to be out of control. 5 years from now, everybody's sick and dying, right? All the neurological problems developing and all these people and all college students and everything else. And everybody's going to be on there like, it's my hormones. My doctor told me it's my hormones. Kate says, had amazing second pregnancy on medical medium, going mountains till month 9, almost no protein intake, perfect lab work, home birth, a beautiful child, incredible. I think you meant moving mountains, incredible. All right, so let's roll, you guys. Interesting information, isn't it though? But you know where it's going, and you can see it. Like any influencer, basically, not anyone, but almost all young people that are influencers on YouTube, like they don't know why they have their symptoms. They have no idea. They're like, well, I get kind of achy and pains throughout my body. I don't have a lot of energy. Some days I feel better. Some days I don't. And I'm not sleeping that great. I went to my doctor and he said it was my hormones. How old am I? 22 years old. It's not your hormones. Trina P, iron is a big thing going around. Ferritin, anemia, can you address? Well, Medical Medium Info is the only information that was put the truth about iron deficiencies out there. And so what that truth is that if you're missing the iron and the levels are low, then something is eating the iron. Critical to know right there. That piece of information is critical. And I was looking for my little virus. But what happens, people don't realize, is iron is a food source for many varieties of Epstein-Barr virus. Not all varieties of Epstein-Barr virus, but many varieties of Epstein-Barr virus. And so, got some iron in your bloodstream, and then a low-grade viral infection. Medical research and science doesn't know that the low-grade viral infection is feeding off of the iron. That's how it works. People with serious iron deficiencies are getting blood transfusions because they're so high in a viral load that the viral load is gobbling all their iron up in their body. So Spirit of Compassion always told me to help somebody get past this someday in their life, they have to get the viral infections down. But if the doctors and the medical industry don't know about their viral infection, how are they going to get their iron fixed? And they end up in this vicious cycle. They have to try to change their diet. They try to do different things. And some of it's hit and miss, where their iron gets a little stronger because they're taking foods out that are feeding the viruses as well. And so they get a little bit of a benefit. But if you don't know the truth of what to really do, of what foods to remove that feed the virus, and how to go after the virus, and how to keep the immune system strong to go after the virus, then the iron in that person gets eaten and eaten and eaten. And then blood transfusions are needed periodically because there's a viral infection and the virus is feeding off the iron. And where'd my lime go? There's my lime. I'm in such a bad mood today. I need the mood shifter. Can you tell I'm in a bad mood today? You guys, can you actually tell? I'm not in that bad of a mood. But I would like the mood shifter, indeed. During pregnancy, it's common to be low in iron because Epstein-Barr infections tend to evolve during pregnancies if a woman is dealing with a low-grade viral infection already. And so the immune system a woman's immune system is geared on protecting the reproductive system. That's not science research. That's medical medium science, right? And it's protecting the reproductive system. And then you can have a viral load that ends up taking advantage of that. And that viral load can be gobbling up iron all through the body. It's crazy how it works. YouTube, Jackie says, wow. And years ago, they put me on iron pills, feeding the EBV. This makes sense. I became worse. Yes. And that leads me to the next point I wanted to say. Thank you for actually leaving that comment on YouTube. God bless you. What people don't realize is that so many people have tried the iron pills for their anemia. And then when they did the iron pills, they got sicker. And they would go back to their doctor like, I can't take these iron pills. I'm getting sicker and sicker and sicker. But what the doctor did not know, medical research and science did not know, is the viral infection was feeding off of more iron. So the iron pills were going in and the virus was feeding off the iron pills. And then the virus was getting stronger. And then the person was getting sicker. See how it works? And that's medical medium, advanced information. Extremely advanced, all of it. I mean, I cover that in book 1, medical medium. If you don't have the books, go to the library and get all of them out. Or go to Amazon and get it. There's a discount on all my books right now on Amazon. Get the medical medium new edition. Start studying. Become an expert. For yourself. Start studying. Get Liver Rescue. Spend time and read the books. Get Cleanse to Heal. Get Life-Changing Foods. Get Thyroid Healing. I don't have them out here right now. Get the Brain Saver books. Judin said, told low in iron too, and was sick from the pills. Absolutely. Crystal says, yes, I was taking iron pills during pregnancy. So, okay. Here's an example of how incredible Spirit of Compassion's information is. I wanted to say something. Lana Marquis says, that must be why I was anemic when pregnant. The only time I ever was anemic. Absolutely, because when you're pregnant, almost all your immune system, a big hunk of it, is going to the baby. It's protecting the baby in the womb. That means you have less immune system everywhere else. Viral infections go up, you go anemic when pregnant. And here's another thing. This is critical. Like, Spirit of Compassion's information is so advanced. There are millions of women that go on the iron pills and get sicker, and science research has no idea why. But this info is so advanced, it provides an answer. Just like the blood draw information is so advanced, it provides answers for people. Like, it's incredible. Preeclampsia is Epstein-Barr infection. So preeclampsia is. It's a viral infection. It's a viral load. That's somebody who's really got a viral infection. And you know what? Science research will take this. They'll call me a quack or something, and they'll take the information. They do it every day. The clinics are taking published medical medium information and putting it in their little write-ups on diseases and symptoms right now. We know, we're cataloging it, we're watching it, and we're seeing it before our eyes. We're like, oh, you're getting a letter because that's illegal to do. They're taking published medical medium information because science research has no info at all to offer for anybody. They never did. They're taking a decade of answers and plugging it into all the clinics and the clinic search engines right now without having any proof that they had it first. It's actually disgusting. I'm in such a bad mood now, for real. I do need the mood shifter. I have put myself in a bad mood, apparently, by talking about that. Don't worry, that's just medical medium woes. I will get a mood shifter in me in no time. All right, let's get going. We often hear mood changes become blamed on hormone imbalances, whether puberty, a menstrual cycle, or menopause. Hormonal shifts are an easy target. It's your hormones. Be quiet. Shut up. It's your hormones. The truth is that there's much more to mood changes than hormone fluctuations. There's so much more to mood changes than hormone fluctuations. There's so much more to every symptom and condition than calling it hormones. Jackie, AW, you helped to bring my niece into this world a few months ago. Are you going to try to get me all emotional where I have to almost start crying? My sister kept having miscarriages until I showed her the medical medium way. God bless you. And as Mandalorian, I think it was, This Is the Way? I'm Mandalorian. I think there's a new season coming out, unless it's my imagination, and I think I'm wrong. I don't know. The truth is that there's much more to mood changes than hormone fluctuations. When someone's altered state of mind isn't the result of something emotionally challenging or traumatic happening in the life, one common cause of irritability or the blues is toxic blood. I don't want to keep on complaining here. I almost can't stand myself. But there's now like doctors out there stealing this from medical medium books and putting it in ads. Toxic blood and dirty blood syndrome, everything medical medium published, and they're just taking it and running. Do you think there's like a hell for all these people or something? Like, you know what I mean? When we leave here and you did so many like deceitful things, or do you think that doesn't exist? You know what I mean? Like, it's like you just go to the greatest heaven there ever was. Doesn't matter how many people you drew to a different direction, and their health just went crashed, and they went through hell, and they because when you think about it, if you're gonna steal all the info out of the books, but not tell them where it comes from, and then they stay sick and they lose 10 years of their life and their children are sick, don't you think that's just kind of like wrong? Right? And it wouldn't be so bad if they keep on stealing the medical medium information, if they didn't call me like names while they were doing it and say that I'm not a trusted, reliable source, but they keep on taking the info nonstop right now. Look, we're doing the mood shifter today, so I just thought that I would talk about this a little bit with you guys because it puts me in a bad mood. So it's perfect timing for the mood shifter. I'm actually excited. The point I'm trying to say is I can't even read a sentence now that they're not taking. It's actually like maddening, right? And you think I wouldn't care so much if it didn't mean so many people are never going to find their way back to the books and they're going to stay sick for years and even die. Many of them down the road. Okay, toxic blood. Toxic blood can shift the mood. Not hormones, toxic blood. Even if something difficult is going on, if that person's blood is also toxic, they'd be more sensitive and susceptible to triggers from confrontation and conflict. If someone has toxic blood in their body and they run into confrontation, they're going to be in a bad mood. It's like, what did you say? What? Wait a minute. Did you just say that to me? Did you just say I was ugly? Like, why would you say that? But since I have really toxic blood, I'm going to be in a worse mood about that. I can't shake that off. Like, that really hurt my feelings. I'm angry about it now. You just called me ugly. My toxic blood is boiling inside of me right now because I have toxic, thick blood, dirty blood syndrome. And my toxic blood is like making it so I'm triggered easier. So if you call me ugly one more time, I'm really going to get upset. Oh, there you go. You just called me ugly again. Now I'm really upset. This is what I call dirty blood syndrome. When blood is toxic, it's dirty. It's not clean blood. It's like if I got into a bad car accident or something like that and had to get a blood transfusion, and I was still conscious, I'd be like, don't give me the blood from someone that has dirty blood syndrome, please. Spirit of compassion would be like, I would be asking questions, being like, Spirit, is the blood that I'm getting, is it from something? Yeah, it's from a really dirty blood syndrome person. Their blood is toxic. Great, put it in me. Lorraine L., they took 3 big vials of blood to test my hormones, and I hated it. In comparison to some people that have blood drawn, I know this isn't much, but it still felt so excessive. I felt really queasy. Okay. I have a lot to say about blood draw. A lot to say. Anybody who listens to the Blood Draw podcast, the Medical Meme podcast, at Apple Podcasts could have their lives saved. But even better than that, I got protocols in here. The Brain Saver books. I have a blood draw chapter in here that will blow your mind. Blow your mind. You have to be educated about blood draw. It's critical right now. Because yes, 3 full vials of blood can knock somebody back. So your complaint, Lorraine, is actually valid. 100% valid. You felt queasy. I know. 3 full vials, someone can be hit from that. It's no joke. Never mind 5 vials, 7 vials, 10 vials, 15 vials. By the way, I'm talking about blood draw because, Lorraine, you mentioned it, but also because that can really change moods in people when they're getting too much blood drawn. Really change moods. All their glucose goes out the door, like a lot of glucose. So electrolytes go out the door. Their immune system goes out the door. I've talked about this for so many times, so many years. The trace minerals go out the door. Trace minerals, glucose. Right? So all of that, electrolytes, macro minerals especially, go out the door. All of that is just boom. And then how are people going to recover that? Glass of water? I mean, when you fill up with fluids and eat, you're not restoring your blood, what's in your blood so fast. You're just restoring water content too. And that's not all the bulk of your blood. Water content does not restore your immune system. Anyway, yeah. So many hot topics right here to talk about, hot spots, seriously. Like important, critical pieces of information. This is what I call dirty blood syndrome, when blocked blood is toxic. By the way, I do know answers to what happens when people leave here and everything from Spirit of Compassion when I ask Spirit of Compassion. But I was just asking you guys what you thought. I do know what happens. A lot of information that my pastime all these years, if anybody wants to know, this could be really boring to somebody. My pastime, one of my pastimes, is to ask Spirit of Compassion a lot of difficult questions. Questions that I want to know personally. Questions about how the earth works. Questions about people. Questions about souls. Questions about what happens when we leave here. Questions about past lives. Questions about all this, right? These are questions that I ask Spirit of Compassion that I happen to know many answers to. And I want you guys to know all those answers too. So we'll get to it. Right now, a lot of sick people, and they need to feel better. This is the result of a liver overloaded and overburdened by toxic heavy metals, adrenaline, viruses, pathogens, other betrayers. Dirty blood syndrome is when the liver is overloaded, and it's overloaded in virtually everybody. Babies come here into this world with an overloaded, overburdened, stagnant, sluggish liver. Babies come into this world with a stagnant, sluggish liver. Elsie says, oh my God, exclamation point. Wondering why I'm so dead today and had 5 vials taken yesterday. Elsie, I beg of you, go to the library or order the book online, whatever. Learn about blood draw. Ask your doctor what's right for you, but learn about blood draw. MD Misha, I had not made the connection to being completely wiped out after blood draws until medical medium information. Honestly, you guys, if you can hear me, if you can see me right now, if you can hear me, please learn about blood draws, please. Kate, Ellen, doctors took my blood every week when I was pregnant. Oh my God, I talk about that in here. What kind of mood am I in today now? You guys, I beg. I'm pleading with you. I never, ever do that, right? Like to this extent. I beg of you. You have to learn about blood draws. You have to read the chapter. It's not about selling a book. It's sold way less than it costs to print it now on Amazon.com. Anyway, the point is, get it free at the library, but you have to read the blood draw chapter. I am like serious. Protect yourselves. As the liver, the body's filter, gets sluggish and stagnant, the blood can get sluggish and stagnant. The blood in the liver gets sluggish and stagnant, and it can get more toxic. Where do these toxins go? They float around the bloodstream and find their way to where? Here. Everyone has different toxins in different amounts. So exactly how they affect different people varies. These toxins saturate the brain, tissue, and neurons, diminish neurotransmitter chemicals, and can alter somebody's mood. See, I'm just in a crappy mood right now. Jay Nessie says, I'm new here. I'm in chapter 4. Whoa. And I'm addicted. Anthony, I finally feel like I'm reading some truth. Thank God, trying to find answers for my 2-year arthritis. Oh my God. For the newbie here, I just got one thing to say. When I bring out Dr. Nesbitt from his surgery later, do not not be a newbie anymore. And then don't say bye. Stick around for Dr. Nesbitt. No, seriously though, thank you for reading the books. And yes, it's truth. Jackie B, I'm so glad we learned the MM info about blood draws. Now my husband asks them to take half vials and he doesn't feel as awful afterward. There are serious ramifications from blood draw that go beyond anything anybody can even imagine. I believe in getting blood work done for people. I want people to go to their doctors and get blood work. Absolutely, there's nothing wrong with that if the doctor wants it. The point is you have to learn how to protect yourself because the implications, the ramifications are serious. They're dire, especially if you're struggling with any kind of condition or symptom. Toxic heavy metals such as mercury and aluminum can sit inside the brain and cause mood changes all on their own. Toxic heavy metals wreak havoc on people's brains. They can get a diagnosis of any kind: schizophrenia, bipolar, OCD, depersonalization, depression, anxiety, and 10,000 other diagnoses that are brain related with toxic heavy metals. And that can happen without the liver being toxic and dirty blood syndrome. Viruses inside the liver can feed off of toxic heavy metals and release different brews of neurotoxins, some more potent than others, which get to the brain and make the brain go funny, where, oh my God, I'm having mood changes. Over here on Rumble, Nito, 1988. I had low iron most of my life. Not now, since on medical meeting protocols. Thank you, Rumble person, for being here, and thank you for commenting. Everything is different in how their body handles a toxic load. Everybody's different. One thing about medical meeting info, it's not one size fits all. It's quite the opposite. PK asked the aliens get moody. I would love to answer that question right now. See, one person may not be swayed too easily to a dark place when their liver, blood, and brain are overloaded with toxic waste and poisons. Another person can be persuaded by it and go through a dark place, be in a dark place and struggle. When someone is highly toxic, mood changes can fluctuate up and down, high and low. Man, when you're toxic, mood changes can fluctuate all over the place, but it'll be blamed on hormones. When someone's highly toxic, mood changes can fluctuate up and down. You can go to a new doctor if they won't listen about taking your blood draws. If they won't listen about the information that's so critical. Audrey Lynn says, even knowing that blood draws are not good, when you tell the nurses to take less, they do not listen, saying they know what is needed, and I can't control what they take once a needle's in your arm. First of all, the nurses don't know. But the blood lab will still run the tests and still throw away the rest of your blood because they have too much. You can find doctors and nurses who will listen, and there's a lot more now that are listening because of the medical medium information out there and the blood draw information, because it is spreading and getting out there. Vampires. Juliet Llewellyn says, I asked the doctors for half vials and was told it couldn't be done as the labs need full vials. I rang the lab and the phlebotomist told me it would be fine as they do minimal amounts all the time. Exactly. Exactly, Juliet, because it's one big freaking lie. It's one big lie. Nothing really is as we think it is. There's so much lying going on. It's sick in the system. I'm kind of confused. How do they do a pediatric thyroid test and test all the same with this much blood from a baby? Can somebody tell me? How can they run all the entire thyroid profile with this much blood from a baby with baby vials? Can you tell me? Because it's BS. And that's all they do is lie to every single patient. It's sickening. They can test your blood sugar with a dot of blood. A tiny drop of blood. They can take blood that's on somebody's blue jeans that's sitting in a shallow grave because they were murdered 45 years ago, and they can scrape that blood and get a whole reading. Nutrient deficiencies, thyroid profile, liver enzymes, with a speck of dried out blood sitting in blue jeans 45 years ago in a grave. Oh, but they need all that blood. They need all that blood from you. Sure, it's a scam. Read about it in the books. Pick up the books. Get the Brain Saver book. Learn. Read about it. Because they're going to get you one day. And they'll get you in that vicious cycle, and they'll drain your blood and drain your blood and drain your blood. People die from it all the time. That's all. They get sicker, and they take more blood sicker, and they just gone. All the blood donating, donating blood, right? That everybody does. It doesn't go to hospitals. Where does it go? Well, a fraction of it goes to hospitals. Where's the rest of it go? I'm kind of curious. Are they feeding aliens? Where's it going? Is somebody drinking it? I'd love to know. Guess who's donating blood? Sick women. 99.9% of all blood donors are sick women. Why are they telling sick women to donate their blood and get rid of all their blood? And who's using the blood? Because it's not going to the hospitals. I'm kind of like confused on that one because it's not. Where's it going? Is somebody drinking it? I'd love to know. Jackie B, my husband insisted. He warned them that he has to lay down afterward if they do full vials. That's just the immediate effect. That's not like a year from now after you lost part of your immune system and it took 6 months to get your immune system back. The effects later. I talk about it in the book here. You guys, I'm in an awful mood today. Do we have anything for that? Do you have anything to offer for? Because I'm in a bad mood. Is there anything we can do? The mood shifter. Maria says, I thought a lot of my issues. Hold on, Maria. It went somewhere. The screen literally went boo, and it was gone. What happened? All right, let's keep on going here. When we find that comment, if I can possibly find it. Another person with similar toxic loads may feel something terrible. Another person may not. When someone is highly toxic, their mood changes can fluctuate up and down, high and low. And this could lead to a diagnosis like bipolar disorder. Depression, seasonal affective disorder, SAD, right? Tourette's, or OCD. You know how many people get diagnosed with Tourette's syndrome when they're just really toxic? Why does mood express itself differently in two people with similar toxic loads? Childhood can play a role. If someone grew up with tremendous family stability, check that out, right? If someone grew up with tremendous family stability in early years that gave them confidence and emotional support, that can strengthen their path and journey. Someone else might have lacked that emotional support growing up. One person might have had all the resources they needed when they were young, and another person might have struggled with very few resources and unpredictability. That tends to change people. That can make a difference between just slight differences with someone who's just as toxic as the other person. They're both toxic, but yet see the similar things can change in each person. There is a full chapter on blood draw in Brain Saver. When I was begging you guys to learn about it, I was begging for you guys to read the chapter and study it and hold on to that information. You know what's really so crazy with medical medium information is that I always, for some reason, I think that everybody in the community knows it. And it throws me every time where I'm like, okay, well, I did the blood draw podcast episode years ago. But when I talk about blood draw, everybody's like, what? What are you talking about? It happens like that every second. It's almost like it's a community, but I think for some reason everybody knows the info. But then I realize there's probably a huge amount of the community that doesn't have all the books or maybe not even read one, but they're here and I'm glad they're here. I'm grateful they're here. But the point is that I realize that you can be in the medical medium community and not even heard the blood draw problem. You can be in the MM community and not even know Epstein-Barr causes this or that. You can be in the MM community and be like, that's the first time I ever heard that about blood draw. What? You can be in the MM community and be like, who's Dr. Nesbitt? It just blows me away every time. I'm like, then there's an individual soul itself. Okay, let's talk about the soul. Let's See, Loney says, when I was at the hospital all the time and got a lot of blood drawn, I went into the hospital walking, came out in a wheelchair every time. I had to heal myself with a lot of B12 for weeks. It's really sad because the system is set up to drain a sick person's vitality, robbing and stealing their blood when they don't need that much blood for the tests. The sick person gets sicker and sicker and sicker. And when the sick person gets sicker, the doctors take more blood. Then the sick person gets even sicker. And then the doctors say, well, you need to come in for more blood now because you're sicker and we need to know why. Eventually, the person is too sick. It's the saddest thing I've ever seen out there. There's a reason you have that much blood circulating in your body. Your body isn't a blood bag that just could be like squeezed out anywhere like a ketchup bottle at a busy picnic table where everybody's slapping ketchup on hot dogs and hamburgers left and right. People are really depleted and low already with nutrients. They have deficiencies. They have electrolyte deficiencies. They don't have enough B12 in their brain. People already have enough problems. Take too much blood out of them and constantly take blood out of them, and they never restore. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a serious problem. It could really go really bad. And yes, I said Jesus. Anyway, Loney said, I get kicked out of medical medium groups for sharing your exact words. I hear that all the time, Loney. I hear there's a lot of medical medium groups that are just bait. They're bait to get people in to push them to a different direction. And so if you talk about medical medium info or stick up for medical medium in those groups, they kick you out. But they try to use the medical medium name and pretend it's a medical medium group. I'm going to be kind of hammering down a little bit on that because it's actually really sad. It got to the point where I'm actually really scared for people who are trying to seek out help and heal. What's happening is there's groups now that it's not about MM info. It's not about MM truth. It's not about any of that. It's not about like healing people really, because they siphon people in because it's a medical medium group and then they try to get them doing different things. There was one in Germany that was like doing that. Everybody went in. It turned out it was just a medical medium hate group, but nobody knew. But everybody thought it was a medical medium group, and they just filed in. It turned out it was just a medical medium hate group, and it was siphoning people in, and then telling them all this other stuff. So that like you know what I mean. And it's like that everywhere now. It's like there's a lot of groups, not all of them, but there's a lot of groups. They're siphoning people in, and then they're getting them to do this person's protocols, this person's belief system, this person's whatever, and then you're back to that again. Okay, great, if that's what you want to do, but then don't trick people and getting them in thinking it's going to be MM info when it's not. All right, what a mood day. Okay, can I just say this, that yes, I'm not in the greatest mood. All right. Why does mood express itself different in two people? I talked about that. Then there's an individual soul itself, which is unique to each of us. Your soul is unique. My soul is unique. Your soul is unique. Critical to know. It could be fragile from being tattered along the way, and God knows our souls have been tattered along the way. Many people become wounded in life. And soul wounds can make a person more sensitive too. I mean, a lot of us take a lot of heat. Remember I told you our soul gets propelled out of us so it doesn't get totally damaged. It protects it, but it still has to live in here afterwards when it comes back in. Many people become wounded in life, and soul wounds can make a person more sensitive, affecting how they cope, process, or deal with circumstances involving other people that can reflect the mood. Tammy Sartzman says, I was on meds growing up for seizures. They took my blood every few months. Every time it would induce a seizure at the lab. Really scary. I talk about that in Brain Saver. Prime example right there. Prime example. Because they were removing all the electrolytes. And glucose. Critical. Someone can be dealing with all the above. They could be... So what I mean by that, all kinds of problems that we already discussed about what could be a mood trigger. They could be experiencing toxic heavy metals in the brain, a highly toxic liver I talked about filled with pathogens and poisons that's caused it to become more stagnant and sluggish so that the dirty blood develops in a tattered soul from a journey through life that has been very difficult, all happening at once. Or they could be dealing with one factor or some combination. Everyone has a different variation. Mood is so much bigger than chalking it all up to hormones. No, don't worry, it's your hormones. There'll be another million influencers on social saying how every single problem they have is their hormones. For specific healing support beyond what's offered here, then it directs you to incredible protocols and everything else in the book. All right. Let's roll. It's a phenomenal chapter, by the way. The bipolar chapter is an incredible chapter in Brain Saver. So that's something you might want to look at. Even if you weren't diagnosed with being bipolar or the diagnosis of any kind. All right, you guys, I need a mood shifter desperately right now. I just feel like I'm not in the greatest mood right now. And I feel like I need a mood shifter. Like, this has been like the perfect situation, really, because I'm not in the greatest mood. I have the mood shifter. I'm excited. I have my shot glass ready. Let's try to figure out how to make this thing. Getting a spoon out. Getting what else I need. Uh-oh. Think I got to peel a lime real quick, so if you guys don't mind, do a little bit of a lime peel real quick. So, look, I want everybody to know that just don't blame yourself. This is important to know. Don't blame yourself for the mood you're in. There are reasons why you're in a bad mood if you're in a bad mood. Don't be hard on you, yourself. Don't beat yourself up. Have compassion for yourself. There is a reason why you may be in a situation where you're struggling. Catherine Elizabeth, sadly, my son had a seizure at 3.5 years old after they took 20 vials of blood. That will always haunt me. Quiet after that because it actually gets me upset. Because there's no need for that to happen out there, but the system creates that. It's not your fault, Catherine. All right. I'm turning the juicer on. Okay. We're going to start out. First of all, I'm using the wild blueberry powder today. It's incredible. So that's the Vimergy wild blueberry powder. It's amazing. By the way, I want to say something about this. And I'll say it in a little bit. I think it's important to know. Okay. Let's get going. 1/4 cup tightly packed chives. Oh, I love the smell. If you don't have chives, you can get away with scallions. I love the smell of these scallions and chives that go down in here. 1/4 cup basil, tightly packed. Danielle Laporte. Hey, friend, XO. Hey, Danielle Laporte, by the way, she's got a killer book. You got to check out her latest book. Seriously. Danielle Laporte has always supported medical medium information. She's a dear friend. God bless her. She cares about people who are chronically ill. She cares about people who are suffering and struggling. She's actually like, to the core, an unbelievable human being. I'm just going to tell you right now. We got the chives. We got the basil. Half cup tightly packed fresh alfalfa sprouts. I got some fresh alfalfa sprouts right here. If you guys don't mind, I'd love to have Danielle Laporte on sometime. You guys, I promise you, it'd be a killer conversation. Okay. Half lime. Throwing that lime in there. Now it's a small lime, but I think we should be good. 1 stalk of celery. All right, half cups of grapes. Half cup of grapes. Optional. It's optional. I happen to have some. Now, what's amazing about the mood shifter, it's optional. Spirit of Compassion said, I love when very few times it's optional. With the mood shifter, this one works. Okay. I'm also going to put some, this one's done here. I'm going to pop some wild blueberry powder in here and mix it. Because I'm using the powder, I'm not using the fresh or frozen wild blueberries. I'm using the powder in here. I'm gonna mix it in. So 1 teaspoon pure wild blueberry powder right there. I got sprouts all over the container. Now what's incredible, and I'm gonna say this, I'll say it once. There's no anti-bonding agents in here, okay? There's no agents in here. What people don't realize in the powders out there, they don't realize they put like an anti-bonding agent in the powders out there. Vimergy does not do that. By the way, you guys, you know, I endorse them the whole bit for all these reasons. And this is one of the big ones, and I never had a chance to ever tell you guys about it. But I wanted to. So I'm just going to say it now. What you'll notice, the barley grass juice powder, the spirulina, there's no anti-caking agents in here. Critical to know. I don't even know what to say besides that's the best news I can ever be handed in my like consciousness, my mind when I'm using this stuff. Do I want an anti-caking agent in my powders? And what people don't realize when they buy all these powders out there, all the green powders and these powders and chlorella powders and spirulina powders, whatever they're using, they don't realize it. There's an agent in there to stop the powder from caking, undisclosed in all the powders. Keep that in mind. And so when you're dealing with this company, Vimergy, they don't put that powder in the powder. They don't do that anti-bonding agent, anti-caking agent inside the powder. And so, okay, fine. Then you might get clumpiness, but I will take clumpiness any day. Any day. This is incredible stuff right here. You see where like one might be a little clumped together? I don't care if there's a little clumpiness going on. I know how clean and pure that stuff is. Because I don't have to say, oh, great, I'm using a powder and it has all that anti-bonding agents in here. Like, that's disgusting. Like, I don't want to eat that. So Vimergy, from my knowledge, is the only company that doesn't use that stuff. I wanted to make that clear because what people don't realize when they use the barley grass juice powder, that if it's clumped together, it's a good thing. That means they didn't put that gross bonding agent in there, anti-bonding agent in there. So important to know. I'm just saying, I just wanted to kind of let you know that. It's critical. Anyway, it's wild blueberry powder right there from Vimergy. I'm mixing this up. All right. I need the mood shifter, man. As you guys can tell, my mood hasn't been good today. We covered a lot of really annoying topics. Mixed up. Had to get that mixed up. Erica Fitzgerald, I just got the MM1500. I love it. That's what she said. She loves the MM1500. Incredible. Thank you. Because you are going to save yourself money. Bottom line. And you know why? Because that pulp is drier. And when that pulp is drier, you save money. Less produce you have to buy. You know the whole thing. I told you guys a million times. Let's go. Cold Light Spring. You didn't juice the whole celery stalk. It annoys me. Laugh out loud. Oh, there's a little piece in there. I shut the machine off. I know. I told you. I'm in a bad mood today. I don't even know what to say. John Zook. Vimergy is the only company that doesn't give me a throbbing headache. Thank you, AW. I don't even, you know what? That reason alone, they don't use the anti-caking agents. Do you guys know what that means? Like, that's unbelievable. All the powders out there have a hidden, undisclosed anti-caking agent. Excuse me. Yeah. And you guys know I endorse them the whole bit. Well, you know what's incredible? And I'll endorse them a billion times over because of this. It's this kind of stuff they do that you can't get anywhere else. This tastes like candy. This wild blueberry powder tastes like candy. It is exquisite. It is exquisite. Anyway. All right, let's drink this shot. Let's see. Kate Maris says, I always wondered why the cheap spirulina was so easier to stir. So glad to hear this. Kate, that's exactly why. 100% exactly why. Yep. Pretty amazing, you guys. All right, we're going to do our shot. We're going to drink our shot. I'm going to pour it. I need to come out of this bad mood. Somehow. I mean, I actually almost want to cry for some reason. We're talking about, like, all kinds of things. Like, I need something. I wasn't planning on being in a bad mood today. I wasn't. There's just a lot of talk we were talking about. Like the whole iron thing, the blood draw thing, right? I feel bad for people going through hell and then being driven in directions that actually make them worse. Is that going to put me in a bad mood? Yes, it is. All the way down to the fact that all the other powders have anti-caking agents in there and stuff. And these don't. Like, all the way to the thefting of medical medium information in the medical medium community groups being kind of like hate groups for bringing people in. Like, all of it. Anyway. Not all of them are. I know that. There's some incredible ones. All right. I almost feel like letting out a cry, right? Woo! This one always takes a minute for me. It doesn't hit me right away, but it starts hitting me now. Bartender, give me another, because I am ready. I'm already in a better mood. I get these funny sensations all in my head. Do you get that? where there's this like funny, crazy sensations going down. Like I get them from like here to here. It's so weird with some of these. This one right here, really. Woo! This is what I needed. I'm in an apologetic mood too. You guys, I'm so sorry. Ugh. I'm so sorry that I've been complaining. Amazing. Bartender, give me another. Woo! I'm just going to tell you, that was incredible. For the newbies here, I just want to say thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I do. And for the newbies here, I have a friend here. For anybody who's a newbie, Dr. Nesbitt. Dr. Nesbitt? Yeah, no, I know. No, it's okay. You can say that. Yeah. Dr. Nesbitt says that because he's a certified psychiatrist, that he said that he would gladly treat, because he's a board certified psychiatrist, he'd gladly treat anybody with any kind of mood problems if they're a chicken. So, Dr. Nesbitt, do they have to be a chicken? For real? Dr. Nesbitt says they have to be a chicken. But they're not chickens, Dr. Nesbitt. They're actually people. They're humans. He says, what do you think? I'm stupid? Dr. Nesbitt. He says, I'm not stupid. I know they're humans. He says he does surgical procedures on humans all the time. He works on humans. He's not a chicken surgeon. He's a human surgeon. But he only does psychiatry for chickens. Why? I don't get it. Chickens have a lot of emotional wounds and a lot of soul wounds, right? Yeah, I can only imagine. Dr. Nesbitt just wants to say one thing to newbies. He appreciates you guys coming around and being here. Dr. Nesbitt, where's Beatrice? Dr. Nesbitt says Beatrice is on a vacation away from Dr. Nesbitt. All right. Well, when is she going to come back? Says she may never come back. She may not come back ever again. She feels like she was humiliated and insulted the last time she was here. And she feels like she was not heard or validated because Dr. Nesbitt is very dominating. He was dominating the conversation. Sane Sue says, AW, I am healing bipolar. I deal with so much mood disturbances. And this shot was better than any drug. I feel a heck of a lot better right now. I smile, goofy, for no reason. And it was amazing. I can't wait to have it again soon. Sane Sue's fantastic. Dr. Nesbitt said that if you were a chicken, he would offer you a session for free. Sane Sue's. But you are not a chicken. Amy Teeter says, mood shifters are way better than mood stabilizers. Amazing. Well, Dr. Nesbitt, you're upset because you didn't get offered one. Dr. Nesbitt is in a terrible mood today. Let me just make sure I can help out in some way. Dr. Nesbitt said that when he got to the office, the anesthesiologist was late and the patient was waiting for surgery for a very long time, and the anesthesiologist was not helpful. And then the anesthesiologist gave the patient too much anesthesia. Dr. Nesbitt. And he said that the patient took 3 days to wake up after the surgery, but the surgery was today. That doesn't make any sense. Dr. Nesbitt says it doesn't matter if it makes sense. He says that he's just telling me he had a bad day. I just want to say, and Michelle L., we love you, and just hang in there for us, okay? I know that you're going through a lot. Dr. Nesbitt? Dr. Nesbitt's already drinking, and he said that this smoothie is delicious. Dr. Nesbitt, it's not a smoothie. Dr. Nesbitt said the smoothie drink is amazing. Dr. Nesbitt, it's not a smoothie, it's the mood shifter. What are you talking about? Dr. Nesbitt said, good heavy metal detox smoothie. This is not the heavy metal. The problem is with Dr. Nesbitt, he really doesn't know the information really well. He just knows of things that, he's heard. Where's Peggy and Donnie? He said Peggy and Donnie are out today. They are at the park. Problem is with Peggy tends to eat a lot, and Donnie tends to throw up a lot. And between the both of them, Dr. Nesbitt says they embarrass him wherever they go. All right. You can get the brain shot recipes in the books, medicalmeme.com and at medicalmeme.com. Please note that the website has been constantly, additions have been added to the website. Check it out when you get a chance, medicalmeme.com. Check out Telegram. You guys know the drill. Check out Telegram, exclusive messages on Telegram. The last one I left was called I'm Sorry. I'm going to leave a new one as soon as I can. It's not going to be today, I think, but just make sure you're there on Telegram. And what else can I say? Medical Meme Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Check out the flu and cold and flu download. You can get it at medicalmeme.com. You can still sign up to the challenge. We have 5 days left. Pretend it's a 5-day challenge. Get your free grocery shopping list you can download and get your emails with all the information that's pertinent to the Brain Shot Therapy Cleanse Challenge, and it's free. Dr. Nesbitt said, stop giving everybody everything for free. Dr. Nesbitt says he charges for every single thing at his clinic and at his office. Light Blast is coming soon, so you might want to be on the email list for the Light Blast. Check out the email list for the Light Blast. It's on medicalmeme.com. Sign up when you get a chance. You don't want to miss the Light Blast, because I can promise you this, that the Light Blast is definitely life-changing, without a doubt. Without a doubt. It is an experience like no other. So anyway, all right, you guys. Lisa says, love your Telegram messages. Okay, guys, I will see you soon, and Dr. Nesbitt will too. Much love. God bless you guys. Yep.